What's up everyone, Alex here. So one of my favorite action platformers of all time has to be the Mega Man series, and that joins the triumvirate of Castlevania and Ninja Gaiden on the NES as some of my absolute favorites. But Mega Man always hit differently because Mega Man allowed you to take on different robot masters using different weaponry that basically changed up the gameplay in dramatic ways in some cases. So when I saw the graphics of Berserk Boy, it immediately gave me this very strong Mega Man X vibe that I haven't seen in a very long time, and that got me really excited. But the thing is with games that invoke that nostalgia of games from yesteryear is that sometimes when we actually play those games, they are often less than what we played before. This then begs the question, where does Berserk Boy lie in relation to the Mega Man series of games? You might be surprised to learn what I discovered. When I first started the game, what initially grabbed my attention was its fluid and colorful sprite work. While some of its featured character designs weren't exactly my cup of tea, the game is filled with a ton of fantastic artwork that lovingly adorns every cutscene and stage. This matches the Saturday morning cartoon vibe that its narrative strives to capture, which managed to be far more charming and fun than I expected. The combination of colorful visuals, upbeat music, as well as its chipper dialogue do well in selling a look and feel that is reminiscent of a mid-90s kids anime. But the real reason why you'll want to play a game like Berserk Boy is the gameplay itself. So, is it any good? Given its Mega Man inspirations, you're probably expecting Berserk Boy to play like the aforementioned games. I sure did. In reality, when I sat down and played it for the first time, the controls took some getting used to. Not to mention the game's speed, in particular, was something I had trouble adjusting to during these early levels. Thankfully, the more I got into the groove, the more fun I had. And by the end of the game, I can honestly say that I completely enjoyed my time with it. The fun of this title largely comes from its fast-paced platforming, something that gets expanded upon as you earn new suits and abilities as the game progresses. When you find the boss of each area, you'll unlock a new suit which substantially alters your capabilities. The initial lightning suit is focused on quick dash attacks, the fire drill is the slowest but most capable in a fight, the ninja suit can hang on special ledges and has the best ranged attack, the flying suit is easily the worst in every regard, except for the fact that it can fly and bypass most obstacles, and finally, the Mindbuster suit is very situational, letting you open special doors and attack multiple enemies at once. As you make your way through the levels and expand your repertoire of abilities, Berserk Boy slowly ramps up its difficulty in a nice and steady curve. Given that each suit increases the game's level of complexity by adding new mechanics, there's something to be said about how it all never felt overwhelming. When I unlocked the final suit and saw roughly everything the game had to offer, it felt that it had just the right amount of traversal and suit options, and the developer should definitely be praised for how well-paced Berserk Boy turned out to be. And when the game is throwing platforming challenges at you, this is when Berserk Boy is at its best. Zipping around through levels at high velocity, switching between suits to utilize different abilities, using the enemies to maintain momentum. All of this comes together to create a sense of speed and flow that just feels fantastic. In fact, I'm kinda hoping speedrunners pick this game up and show off just how frenetic this game can truly be. On the other hand, I found its bosses to be a bit of a letdown. Whenever it came time to throw down, I rarely found myself struggling, and usually beat them on my first try. While I wouldn't go as far as to say that the bosses were an afterthought, I do think it's fair to say that the level design was where most of the game's attention was placed, and it shows. It would have been nice if the game's bosses had offered more of a substantial challenge, but then again, when most of the game is experiencing and traversing its awesome levels, this is all easily forgivable. As I said, a lot of pre-release comparisons have been made to Mega Man, and for good reason. However, I hope it's been made clear that this is not merely a clone of said series, though I want to spend a little bit more time to talk about what other ways Berserk Boy differentiates itself from the aforementioned games. First off, Berserk Boy's abilities are radically different from Mega Man, with far more emphasis put on abilities that expand on traversal rather than an assortment of weapons. The level design, in conjunction with the linear game progression, complements each other by leaning heavily into abilities that are made available to you as you play through the game. This is in stark opposition to the more open-ended approach of choosing whichever order you want to take on the Robot Masters and Mega Man. These changes go a long way in making sure that this title is very much its own beast, while still honoring its inspiration. While it might not be 100% the Mega Man game that I was hoping it would be, BerserkBoy's incredible traversal and mobility options, coupled with its tight level design challenges, make for a unique action-adventure that captures the spirit of Saturday morning cartoons, which it excels at in every way. This is the closest I've ever seen a game reach to the quality of that series, while also being its own unique experience. And if you've liked what you've seen and heard so far, then Berserk Boy might just be the action game you've been clamoring for the past several years. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.